in that relationship and then being buddies is that I had to come to terms with a lot of my own actions. So it's like, if you don't know how to come to terms with your own actions, you're not gonna be able to be no speaker. Ain't gonna be able to talk about nothing. You're gonna flinch every time that you have something to say. It happens all the time.
It ain't nothing like a committed relationship that'll make you, because that's the thing. Oftentimes people find it hard to commit because the honeymoon phase, it feels good, but like when you start dealing with some shit that when some shit start coming up that you've been afflicted with since childhood, start rearing its head in your relationship, you can't run away from that shit. So either you run away from the relationship altogether or you deal with it head on.
Right. It's just what it is. Always
is what it is.
Because my apostle put it like this: it's like a man is somebody who's willing to face himself. Right now, and it don't matter how he show up. Right? Like, because some guys only want to face the part of themselves that's likable. Now, I mean, even people dispute that, so you might as well see the rest of it.
Well, right? I mean, that's the thing. That's why I've never hid anything. Like, it's a dude right now. Like, you know, I was active. I'm open about the addiction I dealt with in my mid to late 20s. I'm open about SA that I dealt with in my childhood. I'm open about like a lot of my flaws and a lot of things that have afflicted and traumatized me. And the reason why the thing is like, there's an understanding here. Like, we can only go through so many unique experiences, right? Yeah. So if you open up about the shit, you're going to realize how many people have been afflicted with these same things. Yeah. So it also will allow men. I used to wonder why I was so like hypersexual, right? Like, especially like as a young man, like 16, 17, 18, like 19, only thing I'm thinking about is sex. Like, it's literally like controlling my life, right? But then you go back and you look at that situation that happened to you when you was 8, when you exposed to it before you supposed to be, and then you start hiding it. You hide that away. But when I came out about it and said something about it, look at all the men that came out behind that and talked about SA that they dealt with in childhood. You know what I'm saying? That has informed how they view sexuality. You feel me? Not only sexuality, whether that be man to man or man to woman, but also like how they deal with sex and why. You understand what I'm saying? And then you get a conversation like that I had maybe 6 to 8 months ago, and now you get YG, who's a rapper, who talking about it in his music. Right. But we don't want to come across as victims of anything, right? And because that word has been so stigmatized and weaponized to keep people quiet. Like, we don't want to talk about race because it's like, oh, well, we got to stop being victims. It's like, no, well, the natural reality is niggas is victims of that shit.
Yeah. People face that. It's just what it looks like.
Real shit. It just is what it is. Yeah. It don't make me a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to take on that mentality of weakness, I ain't weak, nigga.
Right.
But
you saw. You was able to look. See, like, I always think like a good line is like whoever looks into the abyss and blinks first. And usually nowadays we see men blink before women a lot of the time, looking at the abyss, and it happens, right? Like, and the thing is that you got to understand that who dug this hole wasn't us. That's something that the oppressive system did, right? Yeah. Like all the stuff we went through in Black society. A lot of people think that that's just us freestyling as Black people. Who did that? Who did that? Like, nah, they ain't come from us. What's the name? That's one thing. One of my biggest denounces. I'm like, I always denounce Black patriarchy because Black, like we not in control of all the things that happen in our lives. That, like, my dad had to lose 3 jobs. That was in his control, his instability, or was he Black and it was easier to fire him in 2007? It just is.
Well, here's the other thing too. Like, when you start talking about that Black patriarchy, then you start getting into niggas saying we was kings, but it's like we gonna ignore all the queens.
I guess everybody was sitting alone, huh? I guess everybody was alone there. It was an all brother field. It was, you know, the women they see women as something important. They don't see women as something ever present.
See, this is the thing too. It's like see, like everything I do is an evolution of the last thing, right? We're like, I'm building the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go out and you go back to episode 1 or you go to episode 15. I'm just building the story up. So naturally, if I'm going to talk about racism and white supremacy, I'm going to land on patriarchy. I'm going to land on it.
That's what they like. They like that.
First of all, it's essential to the system.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is like, I'm not trying, like, niggas will look at this like, oh, you against black men, you are like, you creating a gender war. No, nigga, I'm trying to undo this entire way of thinking. I'm trying to get you to stop thinking like a white man for a minute. Just for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, we'll stick to white people. Just stick to, like, no, bruh. If we don't hold the mirror up to ourselves, see, this is another thing too. It's like, I ain't sitting here telling niggas I'm perfect. Like, misogyny and patriarchy is something that gets deeply internalized, just like racism. So when you call niggas coons and shit like that, that's a deep internalization of the white supremacist system.
Yep.
But even me, I say bitch a lot. That's just something I'm coming to terms with. But that's deeply misogynistic, bro. That's something I'm gonna have to continually work on and be mindful of. Just like it take a nigga a long time to stop calling women female.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
And what I try to tell people is that white men and black men are not different species, right? So the same benefits, right, that were solely given to them out of being male, right, on equal platforms. I don't want to be anything like that guy. It's just a lot of things that they was on. It was a lot. The dream for a black man, and this is one of the things I was going to talk about it today. Is going to be a bit. It's just a thing that comes to my mind. Is that a lot of people give up blackness. A lot of people give up blackness solely for proximity to whiteness. That's our issue right now. That a lot of people want to be white.
It's a nasty job, bro. It's a dirty job.
They love seeing it. I'm guaranteeing you that if some people, like, if they heard that, like, man, it probably was. Because the thing is that they say the two-door garage lifestyle, right? The white picket fence lifestyle. Who lifestyle are we looking at?
I mean, unless we talk about major pain, that's always been a white story.
Yep. Always.
This is some I Love Lucy shit. But see, this is another thing too. It's like, even with me, fuck. Like, look, bro, I've been living around black people my entire life. So the goal is never to get away. And especially now that I got 3 kids, bro, if the goal is to get away, they don't grow up with any semblance of my childhood. They don't even understand how I grew up at this point. The first thing I do anytime I'm finna move somewhere is look at the demographics.
It matters. It matters.
Hey, listen, bro. Now, I'm gonna say 50. I'm gonna say 50%. That's ideal.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll deal with 40. If we start getting into the 20s and the 30s,
you start understanding the situation. Now we start.
I don't want to be in a 3-to-1 situation, cause like I don't want to be there.
Yeah. What's in there? And that's how you end up with that funding style situation. See, you can always, there's a direct line with it, right? Like, whenever you see a majority black city, we say the whole city's underserved, right? When you see a minority black city, then you know those people are struggling.
No.
like
struggling. We talk about metropolises all the time. But let's start looking at some of these small towns in Alabama, some of these small towns in Mississippi, some of these small towns in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, where the closest hospital is 100 miles away.
Exactly. I mean,
we're not even talking about the same type of struggle. You can get shot in Atlanta, and you're 5 minutes from the hospital.
Yep.
Your ass get shot in South Georgia, you better know how to create a suture or something like that. Like, you better know how to really apply pressure, or it's curtains for you, because you ain't gonna be nowhere near no medical care facility, like medical care facility, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not something that's thought about. So like, we think about blackness in a metropolis mindset as well. We're not thinking about people that live in like rural places, especially in the South, that are completely black.
Right. And this is why I say that there's no personal freedom. That's not a thing. Like it's collective freedom or nothing. That's really the conversation. Some people, because they think they make it out, but you made it out of what? You made it out of being black. That's what you did. It happens all the time.
Listen, and that's the goal for dog. See, this is my thing. I don't want to make it out of blackness. If anything, I want to get deeper down into it.
Yes, bro. Yes.
We want to get deeper down into it, because like the thing is like what you're saying, collective freedom. That's why I say about the podcast, like, this ain't no kumbaya podcast, dog. This ain't for me to try to build unity and coalition with other communities. This for me to bring the community in even tighter. Like, we're going to get even tighter. And when I say black, I'm talking about men. I'm talking about women. I'm talking about trans. I'm talking about children. I'm talking about our elders. I'm talking about each class. I'm talking about however you express yourself. I'm talking about all black folks, all of them. And see, that'd be a thing. It's like, well, a lot of people are saying, oh, I'm trying to build community, and the ideal community is only people that think like me. That ain't no community.
I don't know what
echo chamber.
Right. That's all you got. That's all you got. You in the studio with three niggas that you already knew. That's exactly how that is.
That's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, all these people that is like disagreeing with me and shit like that, it's like, it makes me excited. It's like, oh, my shit is reaching, the net is getting bigger. I can take the net out further. Because the thing is, I understand how things really work because I be in real situations. And I've been in like some, okay, your girl call you out about some shit, you get defensive. You might curse her, you might do anything, you might storm out that bitch, you might out of a fit of rage because you feel hit. But what do you do when that anger subsides? You reflect. Right. And so all these dudes that's so angry, at some point they're gonna have to reflect.
Have to. They being reflected right now, and that's the problem. They ain't got no control over it. Like one thing you can set somebody off is to make something out of their control. They feel like they should be theirs. And for a lot of guys, it's their reflection. They think their reflection is their number one thing they want. They always think like, no, you gonna see me how I see me. Right. You ain't warranted being witnessed yet though.
Yeah. And also like the thing is you ain't seen yourself in a while.
On me, hasn't met himself in years. Last time he said
and see the other thing is too is like I don't marry my mindset. Like I don't get married to my thoughts and opinions. I don't get married to my ideologies, which is why I've been able to constantly be in a state of involvement because I want to learn. I want to be wrong. Shit, I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
Posted plenty of clips where I was like, man, maybe I missed the mark on it, but the people gonna let me know. And I'm not afraid of being wrong. Like the thing is, before any of this ever happened, like I had to get to a place when I was like, I was like 28, 29, 30, and I was still struggling with like this perfectionist mindset. Like I gotta be perfect. And and so like my failures would really like take me under. Like anytime I had any shortcomings, it would take me under. And it's like you gotta give yourself permission to make mistakes. When you allow yourself the grace to make mistakes, the grace to be wrong, as an individual, you might start hitting light speed on the growth. Like the growth become light speed, bro. That shit start happening rapidly. But then also too, you also become extremely more empathetic towards others because you done gave yourself permission to make mistakes. You recognize that other people are making mistakes as well. You also forgive your parents. Like, oh shit, my parents was just people.
Yep.
What? With less resources than me? Less information than me? Yeah, man. Then now we start talking about a whole different game.
Right. No, I'm with you. See, the thing is, I always try to tell people you can't define yourself by your worst moment. That can't be the story. You have a memory for a reason, right? And and the whole point of having that is so you can look at all those little long times that's nothing happened. That one time something happened, that's not your whole life. Oh, and I'm telling you, people, some people live life in an edit. They edit down their life into like the most aggressive, ruinous moments that they ever had. But that's not what you're supposed to do with that. You're supposed to sit there and dream. And I feel like that's one of the biggest things for a black person. When we see all this blight, you're not supposed to sit there and look at this blight and just bake in it. You're supposed to dream for us. What do you think happened when we was enslaved? What do you think happened? Like, of course, they dreamed that I could speak freely. Facts. So what should I be doing for my descendants?
Facts. First of all, we're not even supposed to both be in the house right now.
Oh God. Oh God, I ain't supposed to be those like that.
First of all, you over there looking like you enjoying a little too much AC, my brother.
Oh, for sure. Actually, why I got sleeves? Why they let me have sleeves?
I think the thing is like, I've been actively doing this thing, where like I've been a talker most of my life, right? So the thing that helped me, like when I started interviewing people and shit, it really helped me focus in on like my listening skills, right? It becomes easy when you always the person in your friend group that's looked to for a word, that look to for advice, look to for some type of leadership, mentorship, wisdom, right? So you get so used to talking and being a guide. And I think the thing for me is I'm in a space in my life where I'm getting better at listening. See, like, this is the thing I'm talking about, this lack of this perfectionism that I done let go of. It's like, I know I ain't no great listener all the time. So that's why, like, I listen to you, like Darnell Wright. It's a couple of guys on here and women on here that like really do like give these like long, extensive breakdowns, and it forces me to be a listener again, because I did like 3-4 years in the truck listening to these books, listening to these lectures and all these different things, that when I started speaking and it started resonating, I was on my talking shit, like, oh yeah, oh man, the words per minute was getting crazy. It was getting crazy. Now with the podcast, it's even crazier. But what I've noticed now is, like, when I'm speaking to people that are looking to me like in the mentorship space, they apologize a lot. And you start picking up on the childhood that they must have had, where they was always apologizing, always saying I'm sorry, even for things that don't warrant an apology. And we have to understand that there's a whole lot of people out here who are dealing with other adults as the child that was abused, or as the child that wasn't allowed to speak. And so when we irritate in certain people's spirit, we also we dealing with some people that really haven't overcome their childhood yet, bro. And that shit kind of get a little deep. So it's like, even today when I made the post about being empathetic towards these red pillars, you just feel like you in trouble. You ain't in trouble. You ain't in trouble. And if you are in trouble, you a man.
Right.
Stand on that shit. Like, admit to what you did wrong. The men that have come out and reflected and said, yeah, bro, like, I done made women uncomfortable. I done seen some shit happen. I ain't do nothing about it. Like, that's some real shit, bro.
Oh God, it is. That's how you. That's that real reintegration. Because you got to be able to look your guilt in the eye. And sometimes it matters. I always tell people, you got to be the child that remembers. Like in the same way that you was talking about that. Okay, in the same way that you was the child that got mistreated, you was also the child that grew up. Let's talk about that guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like you know, that happens sometimes with, like, if we sit there and we don't want to look at the man in the corner all the time because of what happened over there. He's telling you what to do. At this point, he can control your field when you're not willing to actually face yourself, like, you know, in this kind of way. And a lot of guys, they sit there and they, I call them elusive, because it's deeper than avoiding. They're elusive. You reflect themselves back to themselves. You know what I'm saying? They mid-weave.
Yeah. The niggas dodge the mirror like a vampire.
I'm telling you, efficient at it.
Yeah, but I think the other thing is, too, is, like, it took me a long time for me not, like, I would say, again, like, I go back to certain pivotal points, like, in, like, mid-20s, like, when I stopped filtering the world through my mom's voice. You know, like, and it first of all, it's a hard separation to make, too. Because, like, that's how I'm used to taking in the information and filtering it through that voice that my mom got in my head. She done dug and burrowed herself so deep in my head. And then it make you question yourself as an individual, right? Like, and the thing that my mom would do is, like, create these situations where I could be victimized. And it's like, baby, like, I'm the villain outside. Like, you know, you think I'm being influenced, like I'm the bad influence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's me. But it filters through where, like, I'm trying to prove something. Like, I'm trying to prove, like, no, they ain't victimizing me. They ain't influencing me to do shit. Like, right. Because it's like taking away that autonomy. So then it took me a long time to, like, get to the point where it's like I stopped filtering everything in the world through my mom's voice or my mom's mindset. It's like, how the fuck do I start thinking for myself? First of all, have I ever even had an original thought? Like, have I ever thought for myself?
And have you ever, and one thing that comes up, right, is that have you even got a chance to fear for yourself? I know for me, for my mom, that was the big thing. She was seeing the TV. Trayvon Martin shook my whole house like it was a category 7. I'm telling you, it was coming at me. Like the type of conversations I had to have growing up, that's not something everybody gets to understand, right? Because of the sheer stress of the entire environment. So I'm sitting here echoing her fears in public. Like, you know, I'm walking around hyper vigilant. Right. But, like, am I hyper vigilant, or was I blessed enough to feel safe right now? Right. While this whole catastrophe was going on. Right. Like, cause some people mistake paranoia for productivity. It's not the same thing. When we see an incident happen in our community, that's not your time. That's not your time to be like, oh, I hope it don't happen over here. No. It's okay to look at it, but then also acknowledge we're here to mend. We're here to mend. Right? Like, they always want to have the person with common sense afraid. And that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be the only one dreaming. Because he can't dream for himself. Trayvon can't dream for himself no more.
Yeah.
All the boys can't dream for themselves no more. But we here. That's why I always try to think back to. Because I'm like, and my parents, like what you was talking about, parents will sit there and be like a worm in a book, eating through all your pages until they're not even satisfied on the way out. Right? Like, but the reality is that we're the biggest case. We're the only option for a lot of these guys who get caught in these incidents.
Yeah.
We're the only option. I gotta live life right because bro couldn't live life right. Right? Like that's what I see. Only reason I want to be a good father is because I was lucky enough to have one, and I know that growing up in school, I ain't see that every time.
Yeah, see, that's another thing too, bro. It's like I tell people all the time, like, I didn't really have a lot of role models. I had a lot of examples of what not to be, right?
Yep.
So,
it happens.
So then there's also this aspect of it, like what you saying, like you got to live because Trayvon didn't get to live, right? But like I also got like this whole other perspective. Like I used to be in the street heavy, and the thing is like I know that these niggas ain't demons for real. Like I've been around them. I've been in proximity to their humanity. You know what I'm saying? And I know why they act like. If your mama alcoholic and your sister out here going crazy because there's a lack of guidance, but you trying to get money and you don't know your pops.
Yeah.
You're trying to be a demon when you outside, but like when you around people that make you feel safe and comfortable, people you can talk to, then you showcase your humanity. I know the human side of a lot of these niggas that people think are demons. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is like, I may have gotten out of that situation, right? Mm-hmm. And whether it be me being aware of my decision making and being able to understand, like, okay, if I continue making these decisions that's landing me in jail, then eventually I'm going to either end up in prison or I'm going to end up dead. Like, they done told me this time and time again that that's how it is.
Right.
But I keep getting in situations where I just escaped death or I keep going to fucking jail. So eventually one of them things finna be a permanent situation. And you got to, first of all, you got to cut niggas off, which ain't the easiest thing to do because now you ain't in the comfort zone, you by yourself. But second of all, it's like, okay, well, maybe by me making this change, like I can influence my friends to make these changes too. And as many of them that done went to prison or died, is just as many of them that's now addicted to drugs. They don't even tell them no more. They addicted to them. And it's like, okay, I got something to live for too, to be an example for my friends who couldn't go and express it themselves because they was too trapped into this mentality of being a street nigga. Like they couldn't let it go. It was their entire identity. By the time you get 25, 28, 30, and you still a street nigga, you don't got nowhere else to go.
Right.
And they don't see, like, they're gonna, with it, like, I got friends that tell me, like, man, I'm ready to go get my CDL now. But they like, damn, but I'm 35, like, it might be too late for the CDL. And it's a feedback loop right back in the street.
Yeah,
right
happens all the time.
All the time.
And the thing is, I always look at them like they wounds in the community. Like, you know what I mean? If we have a collective body, then we've been hit a few times, right? We've been hit by a few things. And the fact that we still stand is something to respect. But I always think like this, and this kind of keeps me back in focus. You can't grab a stray dog by the ears. You can only try to feed them, right? Like, and some guys, they look at black people, especially black men, as something to be grabbed by the ears and reined in. We've been unfed. A starving dog is mangy, right?
God.
Like, it happens, right? So they sit here and we see these people, right, in public, feral. They hungry, they skinny. You see they bones, right? You see, because they showing the worst parts of themselves, don't even want to. So of course they gonna growl at you because no one's ever taken the time. And one thing they always took away from our community. This is why I was big to take away the men, because raising the next generation of men was important to disrupt, to the oppressors. They needed that going, because
to that point. You ever watch them videos of when people go save these mangy ass dogs? They always extremely aggressive at first, and they're aggressive out of fear.
Yep.
Once they feel safe, first of all, once they get in a space where they're safe and they're fed, not only do they heal fast, but their behavior becomes tenfold better.
Right.
In a quick way. As soon as they feel safe, As soon as they get a little bit of love. I mean, the healing process not only goes fast, but the behavior changes immediately.
Right, it does.
So how many people are out here acting out just because they don't feel safe?
Right. And the thing is, I always think of it like this: you can catch a guy in a flinch real easy like that, right? Like in that flinch, that's when the worst things happen, right? Whenever they get a little afraid, that's how you end up getting things. That's how upping happens. That's how all that stuff is just mass flinching.
It's yeah. Some niggas flinch and kill.
On me,
yeah. Sometimes that flinch be, and then what have you been taught? Don't up it if you ain't gonna use it. Now you got all these different voices in your head.
Right, pre-talking. And they try to cancel you
I don't want to kill you, but what they gonna say if I pulled it out and I don't do nothing with it?
Exactly.
So like it's a lot of bad information, but it's like I said, we got people who are filtering even their own thoughts through the thoughts of others. You know what I'm saying? Through these ideologies or through the music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because their music be gospel sometimes, bro. Like that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like the amount of music that carried me through my adolescence, I didn't realize was shaping the way I was thinking. But also, you get in these situations and it's reinforced. Right. It's reinforced. It reinforces the way you think. So you might handle a situation a certain way, and you feel good about it. Like, yeah, nigga said something to me, I punched that nigga in the face, and then you go listen to the song, and it celebrates that way of thinking.
Right.
Oh, well, that's a lot. If you look at it like Avatar, a bond, your action being echoed and reinforced and celebrated in this, it create a bond in your mind where it's like, well, this is how I handle all these situations now. Yep. And now I'm 27 and my girl is confronting me about some shit that, yeah, I did do, but I don't want to admit to because I could lose this relationship. I guess it's time to put hands on her.
And I say it like this. I call it the flame because a man who casts away doubt can't face anything. Can't face anything. That is, it's just, he's completely ruined. You have to be able to embrace contradiction and not flinch. That can't be a whole thing. Like a persistency to cast away doubt is so serious that you have boys who ain't even in this situation running practice. Right? They'll hear a song and be inspired. Right? They'll see an incident, get inspired, run practice. But in real life, getting something horrifying because everybody don't gotta flinch. Right. See, and that's one of the things that a lot of people don't understand. To develop a flinch, you must be in fear. Right. So if you run practice, you're going to be a victim. like what else is going on? Everybody don't got an upper energy. That's why I be having a hard time listening to the rappers nowadays. Because you're not you're on practice. You will be on a news headline.
It's also, it's like niggas are spinning their own web and getting caught up in it. It's a bad...
Exactly, bro.
It's a bad... Like, it's just not... Yeah, man. And then sometimes it's like, especially like in the capacity of which we speak, you do like get disheartened sometimes by the shit you see because it's like, God damn, like every time you feel like you're making an impact, you get 5 headlines that reinforce that you're really not.
On me, it's tough.
You know it's like you get, but you got to keep pushing. You got to keep pressing because I was just talking to somebody about this today, and I just said it on the podcast, but I had like a further conversation off of it. Like we don't know what's a production and what's a product. Like we don't know. We don't know if this is a post. We don't know if this is a production or if this is a product. So like when we on these social media apps. And we looking at something that could be unfolding in real time. Like let's for example, cop carrying out misjustice. We don't know if this is a production or not. Right. We don't know if this is actually happening or if this is something to reinstill fear of the police system.
It happens.
And we also don't know how they choose what makes the news. You know what I'm saying? So there has to be a checklist that things have to go through. Okay, what is this gonna reinforce to our society? Right. So this cop gunning down this black man, what does this reinforce to that society? Right. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And the thing is, they be trying to trigger us. It happens all the time. That's because black people
it's literally always happening. That's the thing. And I like you try to get like the more you try to get people hip to it, like the thing is like once you're made aware of something, then you become unbothered by it. So I don't really get moved by the news because I know that it's a production in some aspect. You know what I'm saying? The end goal for the news station that is funded by corporations is to get ratings.
Right.
Okay, well, what's getting the ratings? What are so on here we giving niggas free ratings all day.
Right.
We creating the conversations that we want to talk about based on our mentality and where we at. We don't know who's pressing the button to make shit viral. But we do know in what capacity people are reacting to it. Now, you take a small situation that happens on the internet that we make a big situation, then it gets reinforced by national news where, okay, now a situation similar to this has happened and we're going to amplify it all across the country.
Yep.
9 out of 10, it's always going to reinforce a power dynamic, whether that be the white to the black society or the police to the black society. Whatever conversation they're trying to have with us subconsciously is always being reinforced in the national news. So I try not to get phased out about shit, and I try to think things through before I get emotional about it. But then you look at certain situations, and it's like, okay, like for example, like the Carmelo Anthony situation where we got a young man protecting himself, and all the evidence is there that it was self-defense. Let's charge him with first-degree murder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we all clear that it's self-defense, right? All right, black people, he's being charged as an adult first-degree murder. How you gonna react to that?
I'm telling you, they always like spectacle. That's one big thing for sure. Like in the news, it's like I call it the profit limit pattern because they only go on what was historically profitable, right? Old ratings influence new ratings. Well, they coming from a state of racism. They don't come from a state of dignity. So the pattern was started from a starting line that had the Klan members in it. It's just one of those cases where like so black people get rewarded for spectacle and rebellion all the time. So you saw like with Carmelo Anthony, they knew it was shocking. They used our spectacle in order to shock the group, get those ratings up for next week. It happens all the time. It's ridiculous.
Well, then another thing is too, it's not the typical cop killing a young black man or random white guy killing a black woman or whatever the case may be. It's a reverse of the power dynamic where it's the David and Goliath thing. David finally struck Goliath. Yeah. Let's put it on blast. Let's put it on blast. Yeah. Let's see how people react. And then we have a situation where Elon has bought Twitter and turned it into exactly what he wants it to be. It's split literally down the middle. It's either men versus women or blacks versus whites. That's literally only thing that's popping on Twitter at all times.
Yep. And a good way to think about this, right, is that you can tell a system's falling apart because it'll devour complexity and devour meaning to preserve a pattern. So anything that's complex, like inherently complex, let's say all those topics, because gender is a complex discussion, right? All those things are complex discussions, right? Black, white, all of that. But they would rather preserve the pattern of the discussion. This is why they like the same talking points all the time. It ain't that we ain't never figured it out before. Nah, black people figure it out every time we had a good discussion. I'll never see other communities come and figure out the gender war. I'm just saying. Like I ain't never seen that conversation happen. But in these cases, they're trying to preserve these patterns in public so we can be reminded of who they want us to be. Right? Like we're more complex than anything they have to show. It's just true.
Well, they do it, and they do it in every every opportunity they get. So you take a situation like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, used as a race proxy war. That's all it is, right? So neither one of them are the best player in that league. But we have and the young lady Paige, I think Paige Buckner or something like that. She may be she if we just talking solely white players, she may be the best white basketball player in the league. So if we start to talk about who the best versus best, we would talk about Paige versus Asia. But the thing is, we can't really pump that because they don't have the personalities that are in alignment with us using them as a proxy war. Now, Angel and Caitlin just have the right personality and the conversation can be started from college. Like, so it's a rivalry and it's a long ongoing story. It's like kayfabe for wrestling. Like they've been beefing for 3 WrestleManias, nigga. It's all coming to a head now, but it's all a proxy war for niggas like Dave Portnoy to beef it up. You know what I'm saying? Niggas that benefit off of these situations as well, because he got Barstool Sports and they always looking for something to buy and repurpose back to the public for their own benefit, right? And that just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So you get a situation where somebody like Elon controls an algorithm that's constantly pushing and pumping racism, and then you insert these two girls that literally don't have nothing to do with that shit, but we allow these white men to take it and make it a race proxy war about the great white hope that Caitlin Clark is.
It don't fit the pattern.
They may not have a problem with any of that shit, but she sure don't do anything to separate herself from it.
Yeah.
So it's just work. It's convenient. And these people ain't stupid. Right. You understand what I'm saying? I always tell people, like, they recruit the right people. They talking to anthropologists. They're talking to sociologists and psychologists. They know what makes people tweak.
Yeah, at gas companies, they got climate scientists. Right? It happens all the time. They always work from the angle. People be acting like the situation not inherently malicious. It is.
Well, the thing is like the evil man with money knows how to outsource.
That's his whole job. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You think Doofus
First of all, you a climate scientist, nigga. You ain't gonna make that much money going green, my nigga.
No.
We got oil money. You want to be a millionaire or you want to be a climate scientist? Also too, now that we got you in our pocket, just understand somebody from your family go missing if you tell somebody about this.
Oh, for sure.
Now you on the hook because you don't realize you in the mob, baby. Like, you in the mob now. Yeah, this is blood in, blood out. You
better love your Hyundai. And you better love your Hyundai for what we gave you. You better love all that.
Matter of fact, nigga, don't even think about mentioning an electrical vehicle, nigga. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
Don't even think about it. You better appreciate what you
like, matter of fact, drive to work in a Duramax, nigga. I don't care what your ideas are.
On me. The situation with him is so bad. Like, a lot of people don't even understand. Like you could even talk about stuff on here, end up in a situation. I remember I did something on it was like the Black City playbook, because I know how they target Black cities. It's like same thing all the time. But because AI companies fund that situation, they don't want to see that. I was they was talking about electoral interference when I was talking about that. That was hilarious. Not gonna lie, best tickle of the week. I didn't got tickled by that by a person a year.
Right. But so even to that, Black cities, like how they target Black cities, so if you think about the YN conversation, right, and you think about what a dangerous young man in a mask. When you think about a dangerous young man with a shiesty mask, you think about Chicago and Philadelphia. Like, that's automatically where the minds go, right?
Right.
And the leaders of these cities are Black women.
Right.
We reinforce this unfit mother, this unfit... Bro, I be thinking about this shit on a whole different level. Like, all the bad kids got Black mamas. And for their city, and the dynamic of their city, the mayor being the mama, look at how her kids act. That shit's sick,
bro. And the thing is, they set us up to fail every time. That's why,
it's sick, bro.
Bro, for sure. Whenever I see a Black person get elected, I'm always in my head like, bro, like they probably jerry-rigged.
What's going on in that city?
That's what I'm saying. In the city, they got the whole thing fried. Because the thing is, a good way to think about this kind of case is like Obama. I think about it all the time. What was it? Before he got by the office, they had already signed the bill that was going to do the bailout. Right, but the bailout attributed to Obama, though. It's only attributed to Obama because he didn't push the button that would cause the middle class to blow up. Right, but you see how they gave him a button that would tarnish everything. This is how they do Black people all the time. Like, you think you'll run for mayor, they're gonna do it all right. That whole election, that seat got a bomb in it. Like,
they finna let you. They're gonna let you be the captain of a sinking ship every time.
Oh yeah, every time. You think you get a city in good shape? No,
nigga. No, we actually allowing you to take the wheel because it ain't nothing but icebergs around here.
Ain't nothing. Actually, we was excited to see the Titanic sink one more time.
Yeah. Real shit. And everybody think they know what to do behind that wheel.
Yep.
But the thing is like, that's the power dynamic of like America in general. Is like the big play is to always reinforce whatever that status quo is, right? So you got a situation where you got somebody like Mike Tomlin, right? Mike Tomlin never had a losing season as a coach. But then how many chips he got? That's going to start to be called into question.
Right.
He never had a losing season. Now you got white coaches that if they never had a losing season, first of all, nigga, Hall of Fame.
Right. Off top, we writing it all down.
They don't even gotta make the play. Like, yeah, you made the playoffs. You can go out first round every time, but fuck that. Let's just talk about the fact that this nigga already got his jacket.
Right.
Barry Bonds heralded as one of the best baseball players of all time by all baseball players. No Hall of Fame.
Right.
But a lot of niggas is on the juice and in the Hall of Fame. It's not the same thing. We just not gonna allow America's sport to be in conjunction with the best player being black. Like, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah. And that's the
niggas going to start bringing up Mickey Mantle. Like, we're talking about black and white.
right.
They'll even take it all the way back to it being black and white before they say he's the best. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things, bro. Like, you can see it in everything, especially when it comes to the media. And once you figure out the media, then you figure out the dynamics of the society. But like a lot of people they just react to the media. They don't digest it or they don't pay attention to it from a critical standpoint. They're just reacting to it. And like 9 times out of 10, what I'm trying to get people to do is stop reacting and start digesting.
Yep. It's big, right? Because this is one of the things that like it stays in my mind all the time. Reactive black people are playing the oppression game. That's the whole game. You're supposed to be in a state of shock. So visceral, right? Your survival stream so locked in that you never get to do nothing else, right? Like that's the whole thing. And then when you start to ascend, that's why I tell people capitalism ain't the way out of this, because that's the whole game. For you to get into capitalism, and at the top of capitalism, you know what they look like. They ain't never look like you. They ain't never said what you say. That ain't never happened. I always try to tell people like there's just no way you're gonna out capitalism in this situation, because the moment they get you in the seat, they like, oh, it's another black person. We got to understand that we was the first victims to capitalism. Right, in America, right? We was owned by corporations, right. They always talk about the government.
Honestly, we were a corporation. Like, we were a corporation.
Oh, me, like, and then
the first corporation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And the thing was, people always talk like they sent the military out there to go to Africa. No. Those were corporations. That was capitalism live. It was capitalism live.
The thing is, none of it works without money.
None of it.
So then we have to start talking about who got the. First of all, it's like with me, I understand like there's a ceiling on this thing, right?
Yeah.
Because what my mentality is, a person who's like a 4th generation millionaire, billionaire, plus a racist, looks at like this conversation as childish because all they care about is money. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck are we talking about liberation for? Nigga, that don't even make sense. Like,
right.
Liberation, like, I'm finna leave from here and go get on a boat, brother.
Yeah.
Fuck about what you talking about, no liberation. How are you gonna make me money? And so like, then we get into this situation where, okay, you got a lot of rappers who come in with this I'm so street code shit. And then they get in a room with people that don't even respect their streets. Matter of fact, are paying to keep the streets orchestrated the way they are so they can keep their ass in prison. So they have to take you seriously. And they don't know how to be in a room with people who don't take them seriously.
Yep.
They've been ruling their entire time. Like the only power they've had is through fear. But what do they do when they're in a room with people with way more money?
Yeah. Don't
take them seriously. And also like have zero fear of them, like no fear.
Right.
So what do you do now as this rapper street dude when now you scared?
Right. You capitulate. They get you to capitulate all the time.
That's scared.
Yeah, because you were scared. Yeah.
And then because the first fear is losing the opportunity. Because my whole shit is propagated on me shitting on everybody.
Yup. Yeah, they can't stop. They can't stop.
If I don't go for whatever they trying to sell me, if I don't obey,
right,
then I'm gonna be back to the streets. And bro, listen, I only got 6 months left.
And they like
I can only financially afford to shit on y'all for like 6 more months.
Yeah.
So I gotta take the deal.
Right. Gotta happen. And see, and the thing is,
take the deal.
They don't want to go back to the streets because they don't own those. That's what they don't want to say.
Also, too, like, first of all, we got you got about 2 more years before somebody come along that's way bigger and better than you.
On me and clear your head out. That's exactly like it literally
like that's another thing too. Is like I be telling my son, bro, like you can think you bad, but there's always new wolves being born. There's new wolves being born every day.
Bro, and they gave black people a limited time lease on the street. See, they let your neighborhood get just hood enough to warrant a police response, right? Like, and it's one of those things all the time. They exercise this all the time. I think of it like a Cold War type of environment in the black community. They get the police into a standoff with black unruliness on purpose because they decided not to police the community in certain areas, right? Let everything get bad enough. The neighborhood just bad enough for you to lose your kid, but it's not bad enough for them to come do anything about it until unrest starts.
Not only that, until unrest starts or until the property value so low that I can come get it for cheap.
Yep.
Like, okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. This one I know this shit was bad, right? When I was like, when I was younger, I used to get put on probation quite often, right? Part of probation is community service. When we doing community service, we go into neighborhoods to pick up trash that are already nice neighborhoods. I used to ask like, damn, bro, why we don't never go across over here where like it's a lot of trash? Literally like crackheads and all type of shit live over here. Homeless people live over here. It's a lot of trash over there. Why we don't go pick it up? But we pick it up in areas that's already like basically got no trash. But the one place we used to always pick up a lot of trash, about 2 years later they started developing.
See, let me give you a
where we would never go pick up trash at 2 years later, and I'm telling you now, that neighborhood don't even look the same. They done gentrified the fuck out of it.
Yep.
Like we done cleaned up the area that they was already primed for development, and we kept the area dirty so they can go buy it.
Yep. Happened in Atlanta this exact same way. See, I went to Clark, Atlanta when I was a lot younger, right? So when I was there,
I'm talking about Douglasville. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. There was the mall down there right by Clark, right? In Vine City, everything. They let that mall sink into the ground, into the earth.
About the West End.
West End Mall,
The West End. Now it's condos over there.
Oh, yeah. Now it's pretty, right? Now it's all that. That was all of that, right? But see, they always have people clean it up right before it all happened. And the thing is that they ain't gonna make it livable for nobody over there. That's one of the hardest things about Atlanta. I need people to understand. It's a city to get uprooted from, not a city to live in. Right? Like you'll move here, right? It's gonna be all cool. It's gonna be all cool until you can't live here anymore. Right? Because they're not making it so you can stay. That's never happened. That's why everybody moves out to the suburbs, because you can't stay in Atlanta unless you go participate in capitalism. Well, see, that's another thing too about like the hood and the music. The music perpetuate the idea of escaping. Yep. So then, there's an easy fix to this, right? Like we could organize a community cleanup day. Right. Could. Right. And because the thing is too, is just like, how many people are walking the streets right now with the mentality of a convict? Right. And then how does that convict mentality spill over to regular civilians? So then we have people that aren't involved in the street, aren't on the path to go to prison, but think like convicts already. Right. You subconsciously walking yourself right into the prison. Right. And our community deals with like this case of like pre-shame. Like it's like they demonize us so thoroughly in the media, right? In everything we see in all of our major forces of entertainment, that when we go outside, now everybody's flinching from things they haven't experienced. That's why I call most Hollywood is just emotional pornography. You sitting there thinking you're gonna simulate, you're gonna experience all that, like that's what's going on, right? Then they encourage this type of notion thinking outside. So let's say you did do something. Well, now Baby Boy played 8 times on TV. Right. That's exactly what goes on. Even if what you did wasn't on that scale, you see yourself in them. Right? Like, so now your only examples of the see yourself are in Baby Boy. I think a lack of healthy models in the community is overwhelmingly destructive. Like, we just need to see better. That's why I think, like, even people be saying they want the spectacle. They want everybody to go out do a community weekend. No. I need one person to go do one thing and not stop. One person. Right, and you can be that one. You don't got to be that one, but you can sure support one person. Right, and
you know, here's the thing: there's no ethics, right? Because ethically, instead of like paying a crackhead to walk on crates for money, you can give each crackhead $20 a piece to clean up the neighborhood. But that's ethical. You see what I'm saying? And then there's this reinforced idea of masculinity where it's like, if you're not a complete monster, you're a pussy. So it's like you can't even just be down to defend yourself. You can't even be down to be mature enough to walk away from a situation that you know doesn't require violence.
Right.
Because there's this constant reinforced, like, you're a pussy. You're a pussy. Like, you're a coward. And and you don't want to feel like a coward, which turns a lot of young men into monsters.
Yep. This is some of the dangers of misogyny in general, because you can't even see. The thing is that like people don't understand when we talk about they dislike black women, right? They dislike even the woman their mom was to raise them. Right, and they don't want to admit that.
Hold on, Justin. You be rushing through the bars, dog. Hold on, Justin. Don't rush through the bars, dog. Don't rush through the bars. Just let that breathe for a second, brother. Just let that breathe for a second, dog. Say that again. Please say that again. Please say that again.
They say they hate women, right? But they also hate the type of woman their mom was to raise them, right? Like, what's the name? So think about it like this, right? They in their household. A lot of these guys really wish they had good raising. Really wish they did. On me, they wish they did. And what ends up happening is that they see their mom, and instead of looking at the oppressive condition, because they don't even get the education to see any of this, right? They look at their mom and see lack, right? But they don't understand that mom all she sees is lack, right? They in this together. What's the name? But this is why like individualism in the black communities are like insane, right? Because now we act like the kids living their life and the moms living their life. No. Both y'all being dunked on for the same reasons we will discuss 20 years from now. Like that's exactly what's gonna go on.
Well,
like,
then also too, we're talking about two people. First of all, the mom is just trying to figure it out. Her nervous system is fucked up. So she doesn't have time to even think about the impact of her actions because she's constantly reacting. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And also too, the pressures of providing, like we don't talk about that. The pressures of being a provider when you didn't start out with anything to provide for yourself.
Exactly.
So you weren't given. First of all, nothing was provided for you, and now you're left with the task of being provisionary by yourself. No skills, no support system.
None of that.
Her nervous system is fried.
None of it.
But the child can't really understand the concept of the dad not being there and why, especially when he goes outside and nobody else's dad is there either. It seems like the norm. So who do we point the finger to? We point the finger to the present parent. We point the finger to the person that's being provisionary.
Right, it happens.
All respect for that woman.
And see, they mad, right? A lot of them are mad that they don't have that they expected to be providers and they had no food in the pantry. Who took the food out the pantry? Was it your mom? Because it wasn't your mom who took the food out the pantry. It was not your mom. And it's the thing. This is my problem.
All she's trying to do is put food in the pantry.
In the pantry, bro. And that's my problem with the single parent conversation. Because if you sit here as a reactionary black person, right, and you got reactionary parenting, right? No. Is it the situation or is it them? A lot of times they're being devoured by this world. Right. Being swallowed up whole. That's why, like, even with my mom, like my mom wasn't always close. But one thing I needed to know was that I needed empathy for her because she's a black woman. Right? I can't just be like, oh, I love black women, but screw you, mom. No, hold on, because there's another woman.
It don't work that way.
Right. There's another woman out there in that condition. I gotta see her too. I can't just run. Like, what is all this?
See, then we have a lot of issues. So then we circle back.
Yep.
And see, the thing is like we can go all over the planet, but we're gonna get back to this shit.
Yep.
Every time. What's the first thing a nigga gonna say? Oh, you shouldn't have never wiped up a single mom in the first place. This is still that little boy dealing with his issues with his mother.
Yeah.
Now we're not gonna talk about the fact that your dad wasn't there.
Like we're not gonna have or why.
we'll use the situations that may not even be similar to your situation. We'll use situations where the mom was so bitter that she kept the dad out of the child's life, right? Mm-hmm. That shit happens too. We can't negate that, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes that ain't even, maybe your dad just ain't shit.
It happens. It happens. I need more people to embrace disappointment, because I'm sitting here like they be always trying to think like, oh, I'm the I have a main character situation. So my dad had to have been ejected. Okay, ejected, or could neither of them figure out how to make a functional relationship? Why?
And what examples did they have? See, we like to go back to this is why I talk about the war on drugs so much, because for a lot of us it starts there. Mm-hmm. We don't understand, like, bro. We talking about like you want to talk about like Hiroshima. We've been drawing Hello Kitty for the last 40 years because we got hit with the Hiroshima shit.
Bro, and the situation's insane. It's insane. I need people to understand international.
We living we're really dealing with some radiation right now, and niggas ain't paying attention to, like, you got radiation poisoning, dog. That's what this is. That's what it is.
And you can't find examples of it anywhere else. There is no other community I cannot even identify that had a specific drug. The specific drug that was sit there. That's insane. The people don't understand the situation. This is like opium in Afghanistan. Like, that's what crack was for us. It was an appearance of like a insane case and stuff. And a lot of people don't understand that, like, your daddy might be outside. Your daddy might be outside. People be thinking that their dad just ran off. Your dad might be outside. That's a real problem.
Niggas talk about what you call it. Niggas talk about snowfall all the time, right? Yeah. And we don't, like, nobody ever talk about the fact that his dad was just a dopehead. Like,
oh, come on. They not talking.
Like episode 3, there go your dad.
Yep. Also outdoors.
Outside on dope.
Yep. It's sad.
I had to come to like, my situation with my dad was odd, right? Because my parents split up and my mom left. So that's not a lot of people's situation that they go through. Usually, mom take the babies and go.
Yeah.
My mama dipped. She went to Atlanta, and at the situation, it's like, well, my dad is like, oh shit. Like, first of all, I don't remember my dad before my mom left. You see what I'm saying? Because to me, my dad was a figure. Like, he was a figure of protection and provisionary, like, skills, like working on cars. He work all day, and he's physically imposing. So, like, there was also, like, my dad used to get home at 9:30 every night. I wouldn't go to bed until I heard his key get in the door, because I didn't feel safe until he came in the house. That's just shit I was dealing with as a kid. So now, when my mom left, I've seen my dad for the first time, like, in a real way. Like, hold on, nigga, you got, like, thoughts and opinions and shit? Like, like, hold on, my nigga. Like, what do you do? You got thoughts and opinions? Like you be saying shit? Because you don't remember, right? But there's also, too, he go from working 2 jobs to working 3 jobs, never there. So while I'm being raised by my dad, I'm really raising myself. Right. It happens all the time. And so then we talking about an aspect too, where it's like, I go through these 2 years, one, raising myself. That's where the grits and eggs shit come from. Like, nigga, that's what I was eating for 2 years. Yeah. That's how I grew up. Like, that's literally when I came online, when I started thinking for myself, because I'm in a situation where I got to be an adult. I'm waking myself up to get myself to school. I'm washing my own clothes. I'm cooking dinner for me and my siblings. Sometimes, like, dog, I'm 12. Right. Nigga, I'm living like I'm 22. Right. When I came 22 and I was doing all these things, that shit was second nature. Nigga, I would default on a bill. I didn't give a fuck. Like, I already been here. Like, I was here 2 years ago. We clear. We got off that. Yeah. I'm straight. Don't even trip. I already know it's gonna work itself out. But the thing is, the juxtaposition for me was when 8th grade finished, and it was like, you finna go live. Like, my mom was like, all right, I'm here. Like, I went to Atlanta. I got my shit together. We finna go move. In a situation, I'm like, nah, let me stay with my dad. Like, I'm straight. I already got this, like, situation figured out. Right. She was like, man, ask your dad why you can't stay here, right? Man, when you find out, like, the type of shit your folks be on behind closed doors that they keep from you, You be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and go with my mom. Let me go ahead. I ain't gonna put my daddy business out there, but let me go ahead and go out with my mom. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't understand that she was like, she left to set shit up.
Right.
Because where I was at, things was falling apart.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like whole time she gone, I'm mad as fuck at her. Like, damn, bro, she done left a nigga like woo. But it's like certain shit she not gonna explain. I'm a child. I can't. You're not even gonna understand this shit. You won't understand from an emotional perspective because you are a child. You understand what I'm saying? So then when you get older and my dad not around no more, and I find out why, it's like, oh nigga, I've been sitting here like pointing a finger at her the whole time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then you get old enough and then understand where your daddy coming from in a position where he just a young man, like he making bad decisions, but he just a human. You got to let go of all that shit. You got to empathize with the fact that your parents is just people.
Right.
So what type of person are you going to be? You going to build? You going to learn from their mistakes and build on and become a better person? Or you going to repeat their mistakes and give yourself the excuse to repeat their mistakes because you didn't know no better? Like, you do know better.
Right, you do.
Not having an example is the example.
Yep. It works just like that. And see, I'm in the other case, right? Because my dad and mom was always in the house together. But my dad was always going to go to work. That's one thing. Dad was going to work. And he was always going to come back excited about something, right? But one of the biggest things I had to understand with him was that I remember one time I was becoming a man. I'm sitting there and I'm like, so Dad, I want to hear about your mistakes. Like, I want to hear about your mistakes. I want you to tell me your regrets. And he couldn't say a word to him because he was still living there. Right. Like, and he was like, and he had dreamed for me to never even consider his mistakes. Right. But in this kind of thing, I'm sitting there like, OK, so you won't even give me the opportunity to be better than you. I just gonna have to find it. Right. But in that type of way, that's how you end up with a gap in leadership. Right. A gap in leadership, even with somebody.
He don't want to kill that Superman. He don't want to kill Superman, bro.
And the thing was that he was, in my opinion, the only reason I needed to know his regrets because how did he be Superman? Right. Because that's where I'm sitting here. Right, people always have to understand you in the process of becoming regardless how tall you are today. Right, like you in the process of becoming regardless if you're 40, 18, and and that might not have been the man who wanted to be in that moment that could share his regrets. But I think
the only way he was able to stay Superman is by hiding the phone booth.
Right. And one of the things I think was important to him, because this was less I probably had to learn, because when I saw him and he's sitting there and he's like, nah, and I'm like, you know what? I'm proud of you for even reaching a point where you could be admired by your child. I'm proud of you that you could do that. Right. Like, but then at the same time, I was like, but I'm going to have to live with some regrets now because I know because we not having this conversation. So that was one of those things where people have to understand. I was like, is he keeping the door open? He kept the door open for me. He did. That was there and everything. But that don't mean everything goes right. That don't mean everything feels perfect. Like everybody thinks they can be completed by two parents. I promise you could abduct a parent right now that wouldn't do that for you. I promise you. Like what's the name? Some people think it's gonna make a difference. No. It's always just about what y'all able to find together. And like in that moment,
but the Cosby Show is not the
it's not real.
It's an aspiration, right? It's an aspiration,
right?
It's not the reality. So even if you got two parents, you still got two black parents dealing with white supremacy.
Exactly. Because he's sitting over there getting pressed by the world, right? I didn't even know property tax went up all them times. I didn't even know, right, that credit cards was mine. I didn't know none of that. That's why he wanted me to stay with the dream. But the thing is that we were supposed to be together as black people facing that. Right? Like too many times we sit there and look at another black person and get in disbelief. Are they black or not? Okay, so what's happening? It happens every conversation, and we sit there and come to the same realization that the person we talk about is black. Yes, what's the name? It is one of those things where and this is something important to touch on, because when an incident happens in our community, we always flare up, right? White society don't have this kind of thing. Incident happened in their community, they just talk about the law. They talk about the civil system, but we flare up, right, when things happen in our community. That's because we're willing to do something about it. Like some people be like, oh, like all these incidents in our community. All I see is action, right? Like people trying to stand up for something.
Right. Well, but we also have we are a community of people that recognize problems and are trying to find solutions.
Exactly.
We don't understand. Like this is the thing that we don't understand. We think that these people have all the solutions. They only care about themselves as an individual. They only care about themselves as individuals.
Yeah.
There ain't no white community.
Ain't nothing like
The
that.
only time that white people have communed over anything is in a common hatred.
Yep, empire logic.
Yeah,
That
like,
empire
oh
logic
no,
is
you
all
hate
the time.
niggas? Well, I hate niggas too.
Yep.
Welcome home.
Welcome. Telling you, bro. We got
We our community and our mentality towards building is for for the collective good. And how do we weed out all of the issues? Like, okay, here are our problems. Let's address those problems so we can create solutions.
Yep.
That's literally what me and you've been doing this whole time.
Oh God, bro. I'm telling you, we big on progress. That's one thing I need our community to take more pride in that, because we big on progress. We don't see progress, we upset. We see progress, we're upset that it didn't look like how it could have looked. I'm telling you, we want progress. And one thing I always appreciate about us, and it's hard to see when we're sitting there arguing with people all the time, is that we will at least argue with each other. We will at least try to reach somebody. Right? Like, now you can see, I always say like this, guidance and judgment, two sides of the same coin. You're going to feel most judged by the person who guides you. Right? Like, so they can feel judged by you, like with the accountability thing. They can feel judged by you, or they can look within themselves and find guidance. But it just depends on what day they want to have. And sometimes it ain't Friday. Sometimes they ain't trying to have a go.
It's a fact.
Everybody don't want a piece of part from you. You know what I mean? So everybody, it's going to be that moment where they can take the judgment. That's cool, but you were there. Right? Two people got to be present with each other to have an argument.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that sometimes when I see people like mad or, you know, I wouldn't even say disagreeing, because it's like you have to have like some type of articulation to disagree.
Oh God.
But I know that it's like, it's just some hit dog holler type shit. I really do be trying to be considerate of like, what are they going through?
Bro, on me, because that's the whole story.
Yeah, because like yesterday, you probably wouldn't have made this video.
Right.
But it came at this time, and whatever you dealing with right now, it's like, I can't ignore this no more. Like, you literally just taking out your frustration on me, dog. Hey man, I'm just posting clips that provide, like, we just trying to provoke thought, change perspective, and promote this podcast. That's just real shit.
On me.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's important to be disagreed with. I think I always welcome it. People always think like, we just finished shot call. Ain't no shot calling. We gonna get this answer or it's not.
Yeah. Like if I'm missing the mark, let me know. But like, let me know.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't just say you don't agree. Why?
Why? Let's walk. We both black. Let's walk. You can see it apparently. That's good. I always think that stuff like that. It's important to understand that like two black people will walk together and sort out something. Right? Like, and it's just true. We'll go walk and do it. It don't matter how fiercely y'all disagree. It's just one of those cases. It's one of those things where you see two black guys fight. They fight, but they probably gonna be buddies right after that.
Facts.
Right. It's just the truth, right? It's
sometimes like that's their language though. Like sometimes mentality is the language, right? As long as, and like that's the thing. It's like we need them guardrails. Like, okay, buddy fell, don't stomp his head in. Like, come on, cuz.
It's the white supremacy. I'm telling you right there.
Let him say he done.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, like you saying, let's walk. How many times you done told somebody, bro, let me holler at you real quick.
Bro,
we got an issue. Let's sort this shit out. Like, I ain't gonna do it in front of everybody because it ain't everybody's business. But like, let me holler at you real quick.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is what people don't realize, and that's the mature approach, because when you take people away from the crowd, you take their ego out the situation too.
Yeah.
That's why if we gonna have a disagreement and we're gonna fight, put them phones up, bro. Let's just get it in real quick. Because it's that phone that's gonna make somebody get shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We embarrassing each other. Mm-hmm. When it could be a simple solution and get away, but the embarrassment. Okay, shorty, it was 10 people out here. I got my ass whooped. Cool, but somebody recorded. Now it's 1.5 million people that see me get my ass. I gotta kill this nigga.
I call it picnic mentality. Because here's the thing, right? When they was lynching black folks, what they all do? Get together. And they all get together and go watch. And I'm telling you, they love seeing that kind of stuff. And people don't understand this. One of the biggest things I almost wish I had like material to say that for. But it's that most of our failures as a black society, if you want to call them that, most of our wounds are loved by the white society. Loved. Who was watching World Star clapping? White society. Who watches Zeus Network and claps? White society. I'm just saying. They love this stuff. This is why the camera got to go down, because you're not recording for people. You think you recorded for us. No. We know black people fight.
Yeah, like, but this is the thing. This is the thing, bro. And I talked to somebody about this. Like, we move in honesty with each other. Like, I'm pissed off. I'm not gonna act like I ain't mad at you. Let's get it in real quick.
Right, it's true.
And it's like, because we, like, this is why we'll get online and air our business out, because we think we only talking to niggas. Like, no, you talking to everybody, bro. You talking to everybody. And the thing is like, for one, whether it matters to you or not, you are reinforcing harmful stereotype in somebody's mind.
Somebody's loving it. I'm telling you, I think about it all the time.
That shit up. Whereas me, I recognize this as some shit that just happening at the family reunion or some shit that's happening in the cookout. I'm cool with it. Like, resolve your issue however you see fit. Just don't do the most. But for some shit, but a lot of our shit get broadcasted to the point where it's like, okay, hey, we in front of mixed company, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to this house? Stay in this house for real. Like, you arguing in front of mixed company, bro. Let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that be my shit.
Yeah, with this internet stuff all day.
Niggas fighting don't bother me. Like, okay, let them fight. Like, let them fight it out. Because it's an honest reflection of how they feel. So long as we don't let a nigga get too embarrassed, we can walk away from this situation.
I'm telling you, because this is one of them things where I'm like, the internet is like, and I seen this comment just come down there. It was like, the internet is mixed company. That's a bet. It's just the facts, right? Like, when you outside of your community, right, and you get into something, both of y'all got homes to go to right now. Okay, we ain't no home for you online. One thing black people online did with digital displacement. We get into a space, make a black community, and we all start clapping real hard. And guess who walks over? Ready? We start clapping real hard. Guess who comes? Ready? The vampire walk over every time. I'm telling you, every time we get a little black community online, we always do that. And then we say, guess what? We need our own spaces. It's because we deal with constant infiltration. It's just true, right? It's true all the time. And that's what I think Sinners tells it well for what happens on the internet all the time. All the time. Because I guarantee you got a white population in your podcast viewers that just sit there and be patient. You know, they be patient for their one line. They hope you're going to let them in one time.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the cookout going to go down in history. Oh, God, it is. Because, like, this is an unbelievable place. What you mean we let white people in here twice? We let them in here twice? I'm telling you.
This, like, at this point, we want the white people to be the DJ. Like,
oh, God. And then people be shocked when we complain that they always sample soul music. I ain't hearing y'all soul. I'm just saying. They always go for it. And this is why we're like, and of course, like, I think we're gonna develop new forms of expression. We just always do. But like with rap in particular, you can see this in the production space in a devastating fashion. Ain't no trumpeters out there. Back in the day, Harlem Renaissance, a boy hit the trumpet and saved the neighborhood. That's not what's happening no more. Right. Once you can simulate everything, soul gonna revolt every time.
Well, then I have to also think about this aspect of it too. So when you can automate everything, it makes the live show much more valuable, right?
Yeah.
So the thing that I've been encouraging people to do on like my New Music Mondays, especially like extremely lyrical people, learn how to do that with a band. Yeah. Learn how to do that with a live audience, because the instrumentation actually amplifies the voice because it makes it an instrument as well. Yeah. It all matters. When everything is simulated, when you can do everything from a computer, it kind of, you know.
Are we cooking? Or are we just on DoorDash? That's what I think a lot. Like, because like in some cases, everybody can't really get it all together. And you can see it real bad. Like they'll introduce a new rapper and bro really ain't able to read all the way. And we clapping, right? Everybody clapping. But he can't really read all the way. And I'm like, okay. Then the production companies, they give him the best beats, best everything, right? To save him for a season. Like, I always think like the 5 minutes of fame is also the 1 minute of collapse after that. Because like they snuff him out quick unless he get a woman. That's one of the things that's interesting. Because it's like, okay, let's say you have a guy, didn't graduate high school, becomes a rapper. He bring his girl with him, girl quiet. Just the girl quiet, they set up his redemption arc immediately. Immediately. They gonna make him fall off. He's gonna get caught up in a scandal because he was getting caught up before then. They just gave him the money to save him in time. Right. Then the girl, she's sitting here. See, they're gonna make her the conversation. whenever something happen to her, inevitably, they gonna make her the topic, right? We're gonna be debating her existence and her reasoning all day. He gets to skate, right? Like I always say, this DDG more popular right now than he was before this. The redemption arc wins every time.
Well, then also too, you got like people paying like you can't tell me like all of a sudden now all these women coming out telling me how great of a man DDG is.
See, stuff like that be getting me, right? Because I'm like, what else you think he gonna do after an incident, Lord? Come on, y'all. That's, your knees are ashy. Ashed out.
Well, I think the thing that these corporations like to do is they like to make children kings, right? In our community especially. Because they like to take a child out of poverty and put them in front of a feast.
Yep.
Niggas eat themselves into, like, they literally eat themselves to death.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just to visually think about a starving child at a table with a king's feast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they used to ramen and chicken nuggets, they're going to eat themselves to death. And that's what happened. Niggas go from, like, scarcity to complete pleasure.
Gratification.
And like you said to before, like, these aren't the most educated people too. So you talking about people that rap for a living but can't read.
Yep.
So we talking about gluttony and ignorance, like those worlds colliding. I mean, we talking about a dangerous game we playing now.
I'm telling you, because that's exactly how they want you. That's damn near slave conditions. That's
a slave condition, dog. Like that's like giving a Mandingo the beer. It's the same shit in Django. Like you get a Mandingo the beer, but the only thing he knows how to do is be brutal.
Yep, that's it. That's all. And the thing is that like and they target these toward children, which is what like these type of archetypes. See, people always get hung up on the man. Ignore the man. Let's talk about the archetype because this happens every 3 years or whatever. So the archetype that pops up gets marketed toward children consistently, right? Like always. Streamer University #1 viewer. Who is it? Children.
The child, yeah.
The child. Right, and that's why they always, that's all that, in all the content, they talk about specific social behaviors between men and women. That's all their content. They don't have nothing to say, per se. They just showing human interaction, but their version of human interactions. See, like, a lot of our kids gonna grow up with a devastating idea of how to behave in public, and people don't understand that. Like, the way this is gonna go, and the way they are ready to come get our kids, they don't get it. They don't get it. This is not the time. Like this is not the time. You had 4 years about it to go mess up the Walmart. I promise you, they taking you away today.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
They
breaking their computers and shit like that, and then you got people at home that done bought their child something nice, and they child raging and then broke the keyboard, broke the MacBook, and they think that's how you supposed to act because that's the behavior they watch online all day.
Right. Now they wondering why they can't respect nothing. You ain't okay. One. A lot of people ain't really raising their kids; they cohabitating with them. So they shocked when their kid is doing all this stuff by themselves, all this independence. You just live with a child. You ain't doing nothing with no child. What like they be sitting there talking about, oh, how's your day at school? If how's your day at school was enough to be present, oh my God, it'd be so easy. Oh my God. Like, come on. I'm just saying, like, people got to know, like, you got to be able to explain to your kid why math matters to them. Right? Like, because if you can't say that, then don't expect the teacher to say that. She underfunded. Well, you underfunded too, so when does the kid get investment? I just got to know. Because there's only a couple of spots you could reach to. Right? So it's going to come from you, right? Or it's going to come from the teacher. Probably not. She probably ain't got no more textbooks either. Right? Like what's the name? And then what? It's gonna come from the outside world. And in the outside world, our version of masculinity, like black masculinity, been obliterated already. Coin done won this battle, right? So wait, right in this fog, in this like in the dust that done got kicked up from all that, our kids walk outside into the dust, and we shocked that they sit there coughing on it all day, that they sit there craving it on the internet. Like no, they want what they see outside in the world because they know investment here, investment out there. Right,
but it's like everything else. How it progresses, like they're in a constant state of chasing extremes.
Yep.
And so, like, you also speak into a situation where, like, some people ain't like they not even parent. Like, as soon as they kid get on the bus, they
cut.
I'm done.
Cut.
I'm done. And but you not even think about the person that they going off to is literally in the same situation you walking away from.
On me.
The
On me.
teacher is in the same situation, if not worse, from a financial perspective. And it's like, it's gonna be hard to cut through because, like you said, like asking how your day was really don't matter because the child ain't even thought about how their day was.
They don't even know how to describe it.
Stimuli. They're looking for something stimulating. This conversation, like, yeah, it was good, cool. All right, you feel you did you check your box for parenting for the day? Can I go get on my shit real quick? Cool. All right, good. And we gone about our separate ways. And we've been existing in these dynamics for a while though, right? Like the whole thing before when I get home is I do my homework, I go outside. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Shit, we might not talk until it's time to eat. And then depending on what mood your folks in, might not be no conversation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so then we also talking about children that only get attention when they get in trouble. Yep.
And then what it builds in, right? Because people don't understand. You will edit your life down if it isn't valuable to you. So if you sitting there, imagine your child, right? They've been sitting there understimulated for 7 hours, right? Teacher ain't reach out to them. There was 45 kids in the classroom. They couldn't hear anyway. They get home, right? When they get home, you sitting there, and now maybe the worst moments of the day are the only things that's sticking out to them because that was the time they got noticed, right? When they got in trouble, that was when they got noticed. So now you created an expectation of this. This is why I always say, like, you got to become a person before you have a child. But even if you do, your child needs to know where you at or on your personhood.
Yeah. You got to be real with your kids, like real shit.
Bro, if you're not telling your child you not fully developed, bro, why are we lying in this home? Like,
telling a 6-year-old we getting evicted ain't no easy task, but you gotta tell them.
You gotta tell them, bro. You
gotta understand, and then you gotta understand that they gonna ask why. And bro, first of all, before they ask why, what the fuck do eviction mean? Right. So now you gotta go through these things too, but like by going through them, like first of all, what the fuck you think your child gonna do? Stop loving you? That's what I'm saying. Face it. Face your doubt. Face your doubt. Yeah, they do think you're going to stop loving. They do think they're going to stop loving them because that's what their parents did to them. Mm-hmm. Their parents only paid them attention when in their failures. Right. You understand what I'm saying? That their failures are amplified and their successes are seen as the status quo. Yep. You see what I'm saying? You get straight A's, that's what you were supposed to do. You get an F, you get knocked upside your motherfucking head. Well, where am I getting the stimuli from? Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So we're going to constantly we don't even understand like the things sometimes we chasing are the things that are harming us. We reward burnout in our society. We celebrate a burnout. Oh my God. Like, oh, they work so hard. They so strong. They do this to women all the time because that, and you can hear, right? Like men, we have the provider burnout, right? Like, cause I always say this, if you the best, let's say you're the best apple picker and it's a drought. It don't matter how qualified you are. Ain't no fruit for you to operate with. Right? Like, and this is how a lot of people are moving in, right? They get raised to become the best provider with nothing to offer, right? Because the cabinet, and like, this is how you end up in a situation where like with women, like they get told that they're strong, but they never get told how to feel any of it, right? They get told how to persist, which is what you were going to do anyway. So then you exist at that baseline, like you'll sit it like this. Oh, I'm winning. I'm making it to where I want to be, but I'm exhausted and I haven't talked to my family in weeks. Well, you made it out. But you made it out. You made it out. Right? That's what it all looks like. Well, then right? Also, too, like, we'll get on women and say, like, oh, the women don't want to have kids, but it's like, well, she come from a family of 6 and she the oldest. She been a mama since she was 12. Bro, we pushing them out the village and mad as hell. This is my problem. We are pushing women out the village and we're mad. Like, come on, bro. I thought, like, what is happening, bro? What is happening? The situation is so ridiculous to me. Because the thing is that they are the most skilled in survival. We don't get to learn what our daughters are dealing with without black women. I need most men to understand that. Like, you have a 50% chance of having a daughter and you won't get it. You won't get it unless you have this conversation. So if you're gonna be, having all these problems, well, what's even happening right now? Like I always say, like, casting away doubt usually my sign of man might be fickle because he can't embrace doubt. He can't. Also, too, but the thing is too, it's like men that never have loved or respected women gain a newfound respect for women when they have a daughter, and then they raise their daughter up to stay away from niggas that's just like them.
Oh,
And then we don't understand. Then we don't understand, like the conversation me and you having, or the conversation I've been having about accountability. We don't understand that. But you raise your daughter to stay away from niggas that's just like you.
just like you. I say it all the time. I'm literally made this thing talking about how like on these red pill guys, they don't understand that like it always starts with the uncle just weird, and it turns into the red pill guys 20 years later, right? Because they be the weird uncles too, because they got interesting beliefs, right? And then once they end up having a child, if the woman gets exhausted by the weird uncles and all the other fuck niggas that they met along the way, you know what ends up happening? She don't say nothing when the new uncle come back around for their child. Right? That's how you end up in that cycle. It's unbelievably destructive. So now you end up in a situation where people thinking, I just don't like women. Nah, but who do you like?
But then also too, you deal with a situation like this where the woman that was victimized grow up and meet a man that ain't going for that shit, and now she don't have family at all.
Yup.
Because if I bring this nigga around, he finna call that shit out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, like this is, and I think that people think that we're trying to simplify a very complex situation, and we not. We just, and people say, all y'all doing is talking. Nigga, do you know how complex this situation is? You know how we getting down to roots. Do you know how many branches I gotta travel down to get to the fucking trunk of this tree? Just so we get to the roots. We ain't even got to the trunk of the tree yet.
That's what I'm saying.
We still picking through the bad fruit that landed on the ground.
All this rot. That's what I be saying.
It's a lot of rot, my nigga. It's a lot of rot.
Yeah.
We ain't even get to pick up. We ain't even got to get to the healthy fruit or the branches
at all. We on the ground talking about how this apple moldy. Like, come on, man. Like, I be sitting here and I sit here and talk to my bros, right? Because it's tough, and I be trying not to give up on them, on me, but they don't understand. Like you have to see a black person for who they are. You really do, for their wounds and what you like. Because if you don't look at both sides, you're gonna be sitting there hurt by the end of it. When that wound come lash at you, it always happens.
Yeah,
like it always happens. You see it in parenting, right? Like let's say she just got did wrong by the dad, and you look just like the daddy. You a storyteller now, right? If she can't dream of a better man for him, you just a culprit.
But right? Then also too, it's like, so this is where we get into like this boy mom shit, right? Mm-hmm. You have a baby. You have a baby with a man that you wanted, but didn't want you, and you start with this child that look just like him. It's only two ways this thing can go. Either you completely hate the boy for what he represents, or you literally roll out the red carpet and treat the motherfucker like a king. But subconsciously, you keeping this man like this.
Right.
Now, men don't have to have these experiences because oftentimes we get to leave the situation. So we don't have a lot of experiences or conversation from single men and how they divvy up those two paths. Whether they destroy the daughter or they pamper her or treat her like royalty where she can do no wrong. Because subconsciously this is the relationship that he had with the woman that left. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So oftentimes we are left with putting this onus on women for these situations that we don't ever get to see men go through because it's been normalized, right? It's normalized for the woman to go through it alone, right? So then we have to deal with the adults that come from these situations. So we get the natural competition that happened between the mama and the daughter once the daughter come of age to start thinking for herself or pushing back on some of the mama ideologies. I seen that shit happen between my mom and my sister. Yeah, it was so much alike that they hated each other, but it didn't branch off into this thing where they circled back. Normally, you see them circle back, right? Like there's a maturing process of both of them. The girl go out in the world, she become herself, and the mom misses that relationship. So the mom humbles herself, the daughter matures, and then they meet in the middle. But sometimes the situation can't be rectified at all.
Right. I've seen that.
So then we got a lot of motherless children walking around out here, and then having children of their own. Same thing. And no father in a situation like, bro, we got people like, bro, this situation in this community is so deeply traumatized And it's like, we're just trying to speak to the traumas we can see.
Yep.
Me and you done got down to the deep nitty gritty. Like, we in the gristle right now. I can feel it getting a little uncomfortable in here.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
This shit starting to make me reflect on some uncomfortable shit. But the thing is like, it is an uncomfortable situation when we talk about like the state of our community. It's not this thing of like, it's just this quick fix. It's not this thing that capitalism and money is gonna fix. Like the only thing the money can do is amplify. And if you amplifying all these traumatized ass people, then you're gonna have what we had before, what we talked about before. The child king who falls deaf to gluttony. Yeah. And so and then you also got this other side of it where people are trying to find a way to work their way out of working.
Right. I'm with you. And they do that all the time. And then we just sit here working our whole lives. And it literally is treachery. One thing though, with this with the conversation on women, because one thing that just popped in my mind was that a lot of the time when men see this environment play out for women, like when the mom and the sister having this old relationship, we just deem this women activities.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's not women activities. That is in most cases your wife being disruptive. Okay. Like in most cases, it is the mom doing a lot, or even the sister doing a lot. But this is where leadership in a household matters, right? Because leadership is a de-escalating presence. It's not an order, right? Because a lot of people always sit there and think it's like, oh, I gotta command my wife to act right. If you feel like
sometimes you just gotta check the mama though. Like you gotta check the mama.
Sometimes you gotta say something. It's just a story to tell. Like if she's doing a lot, she is. Be there for your daughter. I always say
be there for your daughter, bro. Yeah.
Be there for your daughter.
Well, the thing is too is like we don't live in the same same survival tactics that like animals do, right? Where the mama is pushing them out. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the mama don't want them to leave the nest at all.
Yep.
And how do you control the dynamics of somebody leaving the nest? You keep it where they can't fly.
Yep. Keep them wings off.
Yeah, you keep the wings clipped. And sometimes it's up to the person that's the leader in the family to allow them wings to grow and to check the motherfucker with the scissors.
Right, but you also got to lead yourself. This is one of the things where I be having a hard time with people, because this is one of the things. Women are very capable leaders. We don't ever get them a chance. So they need to lead themselves as well. See, you always going to lead yourself first. Like this one big issue with masculinity right now. We always think leadership is what you can impose over somebody else. Leadership is what you can impose over yourself. Right, like the presence you could be ain't on yourself. So like a lot of times we don't end up with women who get raised in leadership not even knowing that's what they'll be doing their whole life. Like that's what they'll be doing their whole life, leading.
Yep. Right. And by the time they realize, like, you got a lot of 25 to 28-year-old women realizing, like, oh shit, I'm finna be doing this forever.
It's me in the seat, and I'm like, somebody be for real.
Help me out. Count me the fuck out of this. Oh shit. Oh shit. I gotta do this for 50 more years. No. Count me out. And,
I'm telling you.
And that's the thing. It's like, by the time we recognize it, they done.
Mm-hmm.
They over it. Like, man,
exhausted.
They exhausted, bro.
On me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we gotta, like, there's a thing of like, you get a certain amount of like grace from women when you're a man, especially like if you go out, you work every day, you provide, you do those things. You get an extended contract on being childish in other ways, right?
You do,
because you're doing the man shit up front, so you can still be like emotionally unintelligent and shit like that. But someday, like that check got to clear, bro. Sometimes, or either even worse, that check gonna bounce.
Yep. And
you wake up at 30 and you realize the only thing you've been working for 10 years, but you ain't grown at all, and you've been leveraging everything on you being a provider, which is like literally what you were supposed to do in the first place.
Yep. Go ahead.
Like you leveraging like the basics.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like when I had my wake up call that I was leveraging the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Like I ain't doing no emotional work at the at the house. Sometimes I'm checking out from helping with the kids and pulling that emotional labor too, because I've been at work all day. But one day that motherfucking check gonna bounce.
Yep.
And I had to like, bro, when I see my shit, I see my check pending. I ain't know if it was clear. I was like, let me tighten this bitch up real quick. Hold on. Let me go down to the bank my damn self and let them people know. Look, no. The funds in there. The funds in there. I swear they in there.
Oh God! And the thing is, right? This is what a lot of people don't understand, right? This applies to men real deep, but this happens to women too. You always gonna start with your inheritance. You either gonna accept or reject your inheritance. You reject your inheritance, you're gonna start performing life, right? So now you end up performing life. So these people, so a lot of guys out here performing masculinity because they couldn't inherit it. So now they sitting there rejecting that, right? But performance always leads to collapse. You go and fall off stage, right? When you fall off stage, you just gonna make it back to yourself. But if you don't recognize yourself, if you can't recognize yourself when you come off stage, it's gonna all be a problem. So we have a bunch of people, guys all the time performing life. That's why they say all the patterns that they see. They learn the word pandering, ain't met Wikipedia once. Now repeating it, right? And it happens all the time because they know how to perform masculinity.
Yeah, but then they also this is another thing too, though. Like we see, listen, me, and I know this is about you as well, and a lot of other niggas too. We ain't scared. We're not scared to break the ceiling of our echo chamber because we know this message can exist outside of this too. My message can exist outside of just the people that agree with me, right? But they so used to existing in the echo chamber and saying these key words, these buzzwords that work in their little communities, that when they respond to some shit that break that ceiling of their echo chamber, they don't know what to do no more.
They always glitching and shit. Every time
because when you ask a nigga to define it, now we running into problems. When we ask somebody to articulate the disagreement, now we running into problems. Now it's just, it's all bullshit. Oh no, you ain't really talking about shit at all.
At all. Internet learning. It happens all the time. And they think that they in the spot. Ain't nobody in the spot. Everybody's leaving you. And you're so desperate to be accepted, right? These type of guys so desperate to be accepted. They would literally hang out with a predator before they hang out with their own parents. It happens all the time. And they sit there really simping for other men. I don't know what the situation is over there. I don't know what it is, but they simp for other guys all day. A woman will say something logical. Their mom been explaining shit to them all day, all their whole life, right? A man who has been arrested and let go, he'll say something. They'll be like, oh, preserving the pattern. They look for the pattern. They too simple. Like, and you could always follow them. You know where they're gonna end up. That's why they so irritating, because we know exactly how they're gonna act every time. Ain't no complexity.
Yeah, it's no complexity. Like literally in the same clip that they complaining about, I said y'all gonna call me a panderer.
Oh, and couldn't even find a new word. Damn it, Oxford. Damn it,
I already done typed it out. He called me out. But like, ain't that pandering to men?
Yeah. Who
but it's cool. Like it's cool to pander to men. It's cool to pander to white women. And the ultimate pander is that pandering they do to white men.
Let's bring it to the white women one, because this is a situation that gets me all the time. Bothers me. We can talk about this, right? Because they don't look to white women for what people think they do. White women are actually less tolerant of the type of stuff that a black woman will rather see. Black women will see that and have her go through all this stuff, and they're gonna stick around. White women not doing this, right? They go there because white women see black men as breeders, and if you only see yourself as a breeder, then you will be breeded, right? You'll be breeded. And that's exactly what happens. See, a black woman not wanting to have a kid with you, they think it's a problem. No, you're not ready. Like, guess who wants to have a kid with you, though? Guess who wants to have it? Susan.
Playing out that race fantasy, playing out that slave fantasy.
Playing out the breeder fantasy all day. They act like it's matter. That's why the snow bunny conversation hilarious, because what bunnies do? Breed. It's the exact same thing. You a breeder. You sit there and act like I'm supposed to take
bunnies are literally the symbol of fertility, bro. Like
fertility, bro. Come on, bro. What's going on? What's like? How are we acting like that? Like she's not finna use you to get bread and then thrown out. Because they used to tossing black men out. See, black women not used to tossing black men out. We talk about incidents of black women tossing men out like it's just, right? White women, though. White women send your ass right back outside.
Nigga, white women send your ass into the fucking picnic.
Right, into the picnic. What? Actually, you about to get backdoored by 3 of her cousins.
Yeah, you actually finna go to prison, bitch.
Actually, her daddy the guard. Her daddy the guard was waiting for him. He go to work.
Nah, they actually finna call. They finna drop the real hard R, nigga.
On me. They be trying to cap. They be trying to cap like the narrative don't play out the same thing. But hold on. This one of the things where it's finna get tangible. See, for black women and white men, same thing playing up. No group has traumatized black women more than white men. Right? Like white men have a fundamental fear of a loss of power. So black women, when they come in and stand into themselves, they either gonna be in a situation where how would I put this? Like they will always be the pretty thing next to him. Right? Like, oh wow, a mixed couple. Who we looking at? We're like, oh wow, she walked over there. It's never about what he's doing. Right? Like in the black community, we talk about what a man is doing. Right. In the interracial dating community, we just talk about the ability for them to even stand next to each other. See, you could just tell who's doing emotional work and who's just there.
Yeah.
Right, happens all the time. And see, the thing is, attractiveness basically comes down to who can make my life easier. So when a white man chooses a black woman and he's saying she can make my life easier, what does he mean? That's what I want people to think about. What does he mean when he says that? When he says Martha can make his life easier? What does he mean when he says Jazz makes his life easier? I just want to know. Historically, what could he be talking about? Like, he said you clean so well. That's interesting. I was talking about y'all engagement, but he said you clean so well. I'm just saying. What's the name? They hear black women can cook, and all of a sudden they standing up. I just think it's an interesting conversation they had.
And maybe he learned how to apply lotion. Like maybe.
On God.
Maybe he get the black girlfriend effect and start matching his shirt with his shoes. Maybe.
Bro might have exfoliated one time before that. But here's the thing, right? Can people do it? Sure. I'm never against somebody going to do it. I'm against the fetishization of the process.
See, that'd be my shit too. It's like I done long kind of over. Like I'm out of like the interracial dating conversation. It's just gonna happen, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that's just gonna happen. Like my thing is like, what is it predicated on, right? Mm-hmm. Like, is the justification to put down your equal partner? Like if my justification for dating white women is I want to put down black women, I can't get down with that. Like I can't get jiggy with that shit because it's like, what does that have to do with your interpersonal relationship with her? You know what I'm saying? So this is the RG3 thing. Like that's his whole thing. It's like his whole thing is I'm a milkman. Like he fetishizes his wife, and I'm pretty sure that's a twofold situation. Like she probably fetishizes him too as well. But we can't like. I don't discount for the fact that like you have black people whose parents are trying to do better in life and they put them around all white people.
Yep.
Like who do I expect them to go and be in like community with or a relationship with, right? Like that's some proximity shit. You understand what I'm saying? But then the same thing could be said on the other end. Like I don't it's just I don't get phased out about it. As long as like you don't come over here encroaching on what the fuck I got going on. We cool. Date who you want, love who you want, bro. But then you got like, cause you get like what you said though. You get into that breeder mentality and shit, and it's like,
bro, it's nasty, dude. I'm just nasty.
But then we also like we got a lot of like people that are doing a lot of shit with like fetishization and shit like that too. And then we have a lot of people who are dating out of proximity and don't know no better. So if you a black dude and you grow up around all white people, like I ain't looking at you crazy for having a white wife, because as long as the conversation was, well, black girls didn't know. It's like, hey, slow down and tell me what you like about your wife, nigga.
On me, because they always talking about comparisons. That's my problem with the food comparisons. Get it together, y'all. Come on, like they be talking about this white chocolate over here. Man,
yeah, because it's not like because I on real nigga shit. Like I'm gonna keep it real. I don't give a fuck.
On me.
It don't got nothing to do with me. It's just that like you encroaching on me. Like it's like if let's break it down to like caveman terms on some real shit. Yeah. Like I'm a Panthers fan, right? Mm-hmm. And then somebody like I live in Georgia, and somebody be like, "Oh, why are you a Panthers fan?" I could just say I grew up in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. But their answer would be because I hate the Falcons. It's like, nigga. Hold on, bro. What that got to do with the Panthers?
Oh,
What that got to do with the Panthers? Like, I asked you why you like the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, no, I grew up in proximity to the Panthers. Like, I grew up in North Carolina. That's our team.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a fan of that team. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now if I've been living in Georgia,
facts.
But like you can't be a fan of something because you hate something. That's where niggas start losing me. It's like, yeah, that don't make sense. That don't make sense. So, you gotta heal that. You gotta heal that. You're gonna end up in a bad room.
Oh, on me. That room gonna talk.
You're gonna show up in the racial chat showing feet. Oh God. And the thing is like, if you're gonna be there for somebody, I'm with you, right? If you're gonna be there for somebody, cool. It's just the publicization of the fetish. Now, honestly, I gotta do some more research on this because the fetish community been up in the score on us, bro. Up in the score on society. I don't know what happened. Like, I'm like, we don't like mukbangs. Don't lost the whole thing. Well, it's the incel culture though. Like, incel culture is predicated on porn.
You know what? You dead right. It is just incel culture flat. It's just been proliferating into society.
You've taken like porn and fetish that normally would play out in the privacy of your room, and they done amplified it to the internet because they're making money off of it. Like, I didn't even know like mukbangs was like some sexual fetish shit. I thought it was just pure gluttony.
Right.
But they're making money because it's a fetish. So it's like we looking at shit that's like sex work, like Pinky Doll. That's sex work. I ain't know that. But it's this idea of control. Like she's being AI and she's being an avatar for control. They like the idea that I can pay to control you. I didn't know that's what it was. But when somebody broke that shit down, I was like, oh, okay, well, hey, have at it then. Have at like hey, that ain't my ministry, and I can't speak to that. So I'm gonna stay out of that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it get nasty. Hey, I got the homies coming over to celebrate this award that we just won for the podcast and shit. But damn, 2 hours done flew by like that, bro. Shit, bro, we got a goddamn. I don't know what your travel situation look like, but if you ever in Atlanta, let me know. If I'm ever in Chicago, I'll let you know. We'll put something together.
Yeah. I'll just message you because my folks is from there, so I go down there at least like twice a year. So we'll have that.
Hell yeah. We'll figure that out quick because we got to get one in. The people, they loving it. We can structure it. They don't know. We just literally freestyle this whole shit.
Oh, on me. That was sheer rap.
It was like a 2 hour freestyle. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Bar this nigga. I'm with you.
I'm with it, bro. Like, I get up with you because I got some food I'm finna throw on the grill.
Yeah.
We got some champagne on ice right now. We finna celebrate, you know what I mean?
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, look, bro, celebrate. We finna put it on. We finna put it out there, like. But yeah, man, it's love, bro. It's good connecting with you and talking to you, bro.
Yeah, same here, dude. We definitely gonna tack it again. We're gonna talk again.
Yeah, for sure. All right, love, bro. I'll holler at you in a minute.
All right, man.
All right.